to remember three things about this particular theme. One is that it provides a critique of ethical consumerism and how it works, and whether it does have the power and influence to use Smith's phrase, control businesses, to control corporations. The second thing is that I look at the role of radical consumerism, or the idea that it's not what you buy but how much you buy, and that consumption itself is a problem, and you need to link this in terms of a broader critique of ethical consumerism, that it's not just enough to concentrate on what you buy, whether you buy fair trade or organic, but it's how much you buy. It's the levels of consumption that are a problem from an environmental and social point of view, in that I look over various critiques of consumption, and these critiques focus on the environmental and social impact of consumption. And finally, you need to think of radical consumerism as offering something of a utopian alternative to the mindless consumption we see around us.
Tonight, Jamie will be showing his guests every single aspect of the production process.
How you doing, mate?
Very well.
Viewers may find some of this disturbing.
Charlie, talk us through what's happening right now, mate.
Throughout the whole of the industry, there's 30 million of these chicks, and the males do not produce eggs, and we can't get any economic sense out of them. So unfortunately, they are depleted.
Okay, so Mark, if you talk us through this bit of an apparatus here.
Right, so we have a dispatching chamber. We'll use, in this particular case, carbon dioxide, and sometimes use argon and carbon dioxide.
Okay.
Other method is...
and that's an inert gas, yeah? So yes. It doesn't poison them, it just starves them of oxygen?
Yes, they just starve of oxygen.
Okay. What's the other method?
Other method is maceration.
That's basically like a big mincer, isn't
it?
Yes,
yeah. Very, very quick, not very pleasant for the actual person doing it, though.
Now, this is standard to dispatch of the male chicks in egg-laying industry across all systems.
Organic, free-range, battery, cage, all the chickens.
And in all countries around the world?
All countries around the world. This is a fact of life.
So, Mark, can we start the process, please, and can you talk us through this method of dispatching male chicks?
Right. With this method, the carbon dioxide will actually filter into the chamber in a rising concentration. They will slowly, as you see, get slight breathing difficulties, become unconscious, and then eventually die. It should take around about 1 to 2 minutes.
Culling of animals in any way, shape or form is an awful part of any industry, but this is a sad reality of where your egg comes from. This is normal practice across all systems in all countries. It is dreadful, isn't it? Does it ever get any easier?
No, you get used to, but it doesn't get easier.
But by not getting any easier, we make it the best we possibly can, the quickest and the quietest and the most gentlest method.
This doesn't get wasted. We don't chuck these away. We don't burn these. Tell us about what happens to them, Charlie.
Everyone is used, and they go into the zoos to feed the reptiles. They go into feeding the falcon birds, the birds of prey, and they go into pet food.
Okay.
The average North American consumes 5 times more than a Mexican, 10 times more than a Chinese person, and 30 times more than a person from India. We are the most voracious consumers in the world, a world that could die because of the way we North Americans live. Give it a rest. November 26 is Buy Nothing Day.
It's all in your head. In fact, we set a camera out on the street today, and we told people outside to check out the new iPhone 5, which is unavailable so far. So in reality, what they were looking at is the current iPhone 4S that everyone has. And, well, here's how that experiment played out.
The new iPhone 5 just came out today, and we want to know if you'll take a look at it. Tell us how it compares to the last iPhone.
I'd love to. Oh, it's way better. Yeah, it's nice. That's definitely noticeably better.
So you like it better than the last one?
Yeah, I have the 4S.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm always open for a new phone.
Feels heavier?
I think so.
A lot lighter than the last one. It's a lot faster as well.
Mine's gonna take forever.
So this one's faster?
Yeah, definitely faster.
Oh my god, it feels a lot lighter and just more, just a lot higher quality. And it's got, if you drop it, it looks like it's not gonna break, like this one has a million times.
Classy. No! They've got opposite. Letters. Really orange. Hair extensions, perfume. Smell of shit all the time.
28-year-old Matthew Vokes is a shopping junkie whose finances are in desperate need of rehab.
When I'm spending, it's like a high. I never look at prices. Never ever look at the prices in the stores. If I see something, I'll go and buy it.
Ironically, Matthew works in finance and brings home £2,700 a month, but he's spending twice that, leaving him with a colossal debt of £55,000 and rising.
Did you learn anything about people's reactions to you there that was new to you?
People just really didn't have an opinion either way, so it didn't really bother them.
But you spend so much time worrying about what other people worry about you. And the fact is, a lot of the time, they don't really give a monkeys. So a lot of this effort and spending is kind of a waste of time. Might as well relax and be who you are. Okay, I'll give you another one.
What is dumpster diving?
Dumpster diving is when you take a torch, you find a bin, and by a supermarket preferably, or somewhere like that, you go and you look through the bin, you find food that is usable and good to eat, and you take it home and you eat it. That's about it. So we live, there are 8 people in our home, and we get everything bar fruit comes out of the dumpster. Oh no, actually that's not true. Rice, flour, those sorts of things don't come out of a dumpster either. They come from a bulk organic order.
So how often do you go dumpster diving?
Probably about, on average I'd say 2 times a week. Yeah, 2 to 3 times a week, and that would normally take us about an hour and a half. That's woe to go.
For me, dumpster diving, I don't think it's necessarily a solution. It's just a product of the way that society is now. I think ideally we'd only have as much and pick as much as we need, so we wouldn't waste so much, but yeah.
And kind of the other side of the coin, I guess, for us is that we're really interested in being more connected with the land and understanding where our food comes from and who produced it and how they produced it and stuff like that. And so we're involved in an organic co-op, and we're trying to grow our own veggies at home. And
Now, they're called freegans, and they're people who eat food out of bins as a protest against capitalism. Suzanne Allen has been finding out more.
Would you eat from someone else's bin?
So here's quite a good bin. You can see in here there's some spaghetti salad, there's some pasta salad, there's a fruit salad in here.
This man says he's no scavenger. He holds down a professional job and is a freegan. The freegan movement began in the US, and its ethos is anti-capitalist and anti-waste.
there is this notion that, you know, anybody who goes through bins and looks for food is some sort of vagrant or some sort of homeless person. But in the UK, I think the freegans are very much tied to the environmental movement, to people who are actively recycling, to people who are looking to reduce waste going to landfill.
Tonight we're in Edinburgh, foraging around bins in back alleys. Most of the food has passed its sell-by date, but freegans say it's still edible.
Here's a typical example. Here's a bottle of Bacardi Breezer. It's a little bit past its sell-by date, but I mean, not massively past its sell-by date. Certainly drinkable. If I can find something to try and open it with. Cheers.